Well, welcome to Marketing Essentials. This is the marketing video series that I've put together for you to help you grow your business, increase your profits, and then basically make more money with less hassle and fewer headaches. Now, let's start with the fundamentals. The fundamentals of marketing. What are they? Well, Dan Kennedy, he talks of them in three ways. He talks about the market, the message, and the medium. And let's look at those quickly before we go on to another series of videos where we're going to talk about them in detail. The market is the people you're trying to sell whatever you're selling to. Now, most business owners get this wrong. In fact, they get it so wrong, they don't even bother with it at all. They just think everybody can be their customer or client, so they just put the message out there that says, hey, come and see us, drop in some time, see if we can help you. What you're going to find is, and this is counterintuitive, the more specifically you define your market, that is the people you want to sell to, the tighter you do that, the easier it's going to be for you to create your message, the more money you're going to make doing it as well, because you can charge a higher price. So the first thing for you to do is to decide, whom are you trying to sell to? What are they like? What kind of things do they like to do? What do they want to buy? What kind of lives do they lead? Now, the easiest way to do this is to get yourself in an office with your records and see what you've bought in the past, or what people have bought in the past. What have people bought from them in the past? Who are they? What are they like? What kind of makes them tick? What defines them as people? What describes them? Where do they live? What cars do they drive? What do they watch on the TV? Things like that. To give you a kind of funny story about this, a guy a little while ago was selling subscriptions to a website where he did mail order Russian brides, that type stuff. And he was struggling, and he was, got his annual subscriptions, $39 a year, that kind of thing, like everybody else in his market. And then he sat down and did this exercise where he kind of figured out his demographic, his market. He found out that 80% of his subscribers, or 70% or something like that, well, they were actually all truckers. So he scrapped all his marketing, focused on marketing to truckers. So he's now the provider of choice of Russian brides to truckers. Hence his fees increased by about 200 times what they were before. He can do that because he knows his market. The second thing is your message. What are you actually saying to people? What are you telling people? What information are you giving? What benefits are you giving to people so they'll actually want to buy from you? Most people just say, well, we're here, as I said, this is our logo, this is our business name, come and buy something if you think we've got something to help. That does not work. A good example would be this. If you were selling legal services in the form of wills, okay, there are at least three markets I can think of where you would have a very different message, even though you're selling the same underlying product. One of them would be to married couples, one of them would be to cohabiting couples, and the other one would be to single older people with their own property. Now, those three groups of people have got very different requirements. And while you're selling the same real product, the problems they face are subtly different. So you'd need a subtly different message for each one. If you provide the same message, which is basically comes down to the common denominator, you need a will, that ain't going to work anywhere near as well as saying, if you're married and you have property and you have children and one of you dies and the other one remarries and then he or she dies, your entire family could be accidentally disinherited, and they could lose everything, and your estate could end up going to people you've never even met. Well, you can stop that with a will, and you can sell that message to people. But just saying, hey, you need a will, doesn't really mean anything to anyone. And the final thing is the medium. How do you reach these people? Well, everyone's really intent on the internet these days, and I think that's a big mistake, because while it's a very useful medium, speeds things up, automates a lot of things, you can get a lot of message in a short period of time, like you're getting with this video, there are, in many cases, better ways of doing it. Direct mail, email, which I know does go over the internet, but it's not just like a website. Fax, you can still do that in many places in the world. CDs through the mail, DVDs through the mail, telephone, free PR. There are loads and loads of ways of reaching your market. Most people just focus on one, and usually that's the internet. A great big mistake. Well, we're going to look into the details of those three key things, market, medium and message, over the next few videos, and then we're going to go into some more detail on loads of other things. I've got loads and loads of videos lined up for you, so you want to sit back and relax and watch them all, because you're going to get a very comprehensive free marketing education here. So that's me out now. That's Baldy. Goodbye.